Hi, everybody. I'm the Aloha shirt psychic, Mel Dorr, and I got Linda Grindle in the house, my favorite psychic.
Oh, thank you, honey.
But I just have to say, I've worked with a lot of psychics. I see your dog just walk by. I thought, Linda, is that a
That's
spirit?
Jack.
It's your dog.
Jack.
Anyway, I've worked with a lot of psychics. Uh, and bar none, Linda, you are one of the most, if not the most talented psychic that I've ever known or worked with.
Thank you, my friend. I
So,
wasn't that bar none come this, although, like you and I were discussing and what the news is saying, this is absolutely fantastic what
well,
has taken place because, and by the way, the fat lady hasn't sung yet, you guys. We still got California. We still got Nevada. In fact, I know. There's a senator who's favored in the places where they still have to count the votes, who's losing right now to a Republican. So between her, Mark Kelly, and trust me, what's his face is going to win against Herschel Walker.
oh yeah.
There's three more senator seats. So I'm pretty sure that we're going to keep the Senate.
Well,
Now,
no,
and also with the House with these extra votes that you don't know.
remember when we were talking and I thought Abrams would win as governor down there
Me
in
too.
Georgia, but she's not done yet. People were asking questions, is she finished? Absolutely not. She's not going to give up. Nor will Beto. You know,
No.
I thought he'd win down in Texas, but my guides kept telling me, and this was where I misinterpreted it. My guides kept saying that he will be in a high level government position.
You kept saying that.
And I took that to mean governor of Texas. Now,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to, if I was wrong, I was wrong. And I admit that. And I'm not trying to cover it up. I'm just simply saying my guides told me he would be in a high level government position. And so,
Right. And he worked so hard. And that one of the Navalny mothers said, I thought my vote would count. She said, and now that you've voted this guy in again from Texas, she said, I'm going to work through heaven and hell to make sure that these rednecks are out of here.
and that's a message for all of us to work even harder. We don't give up. Somebody commented it was a bloodbath last night for the Democrats. No, it was not.
My God, what show are they watching?
I
Oh,
mean,
if it was a bloodbath, you would have seen all the Republicans partying. Did you see last night on MSNBC? They were at the McCarthy place that they were going to have the celebration because they won the red wave, and nobody was there. It was dead. You could hear crickets.
didn't happen. And you brought
Trump
up
is going through the roof. He's so mad about this.
who?
Trump,
Right. And
furious.
you brought up a good point. A lot of those states that were so pro-Trump, they lost. They lost the governors, lost
Right.
the governors, and so I think this is kind of. I mean, there's still the cray crays, and in the House, like the MTGs and the Gates and all those people, but I think what's going on here is a bellwether of people showing some people in the Repube Party pulling away from Trump. They better.
Well, they're already talking out loud that maybe we shouldn't be looking at Trump as our leader.
That's right. That's right.
Right.
The only reason they did is because they knew the midterms were coming up and they didn't want
Right.
to face his wrath. But I'm telling you, Trump's going to go down. And a lot
Right.
of these people like MTG and Matt Gates and all that will go down.
Well, the January, the DOJ is going to come in and start slapping some subpoenas to these people who were involved.
And even if the Republicans do take over the House, they're going to start witch hunts and they're going to start all these
And
committees.
it won't be a huge amount. It's already like this. It'll be a little amount.
They're going to
And they're going to just waste time with all this stuff, but not all the Republicans are going to vote on their side.
That's true. And they're going to waste all this time and money on these crazy committees. And you know what? It's not going to be good for them.
No,
And
because
so,
2 years will go by and they'll say, what exactly did you guys do for us?
well, my guides have been saying all along, and I was thinking we would keep the House, but my guides were saying all along the Democrats had got to be more forceful in those states where those seats were up for election. And if not, we could very easily lose. We didn't have it in the bag. And my guides kept saying that.
I always saw us winning. I've always saw us winning.
Well, I felt
I wish I could say I had my doubts, but I didn't. But here's the thing though. These red states are red states, and they gerrymander and they lie and they cheat.
Well, that's the problem, the gerrymandering, but at some point that too shall stop.
Right. And the other thing is, hello, look at the world. They don't get the big show. I mean, we are number one with less inflation than any other nation. We're actually doing really good. Our jobs market is fantastic. But no, inflation. And Russia worked with the Republicans to try to bring up the gas prices.
Well, I think they had their hand in this election too, the misinformation and all that, but it's backfiring.
But there's certain people like I really thought there was hope for Beto, but and I really thought there was hope for Stacey, but she lost worse this time than she did the last time.
She's not going to give up. She's not going to give up.
But they're saying sometimes certain people shouldn't keep running. You shouldn't keep running.
Well, she's not going to give up, and Beto's not going to give up either. And at some point, if she doesn't run for election again, I see her holding a high.
That's what I was saying.
In a government cabinet. But Beto's not finished. He is not done. I'm telling you.
And I saw, their cards were really good. And think about this, their cards were good. Didn't mean that because they won this particular thing. It might be because they're going to be pretty famous down the road here.
And the other thing that can happen is sometimes our timing could be off. Will he win? And we could be seeing a future event for him because people are saying he's over. He said, he's not over. I'm telling you.
Not over. No.
Not at all.
No. But people, when we get it right, everybody loves us. And then if we're not exactly right or we don't, this thing was on edge. This thing is history making, what happened last night. And we still have another week or so to go. And we have the second thing happening in Georgia, which Warnock will win.
Well, that's December the 7th, and he's going to win it.
He's going to win it.
Who's the other guy running against him? The goof.
Herschel Walker.
Yeah, I think he's got encephalopathy from getting hit.
Something, poor guy. I mean, he really is not right. He said the Martians are his family.
Okay. Yeah, my family's on Neptune, all right?
But I read somebody in Georgia and they said, Herschel Walker is beloved in Georgia. But the other thing, it's because Trump wanted him.
Correct.
That's right. Why the people voted for him.
All right. People are asking about cheating, and I'm not even going to touch on that right now.
I do see, let me tell you, a flash I had was the DOJ coming in on someplace, a red state, because some complaint came in. So I don't know where that is or what that is, but I did see that. I also saw, as soon as I got that flash, I got a flash about, that there's going to be indictments coming up. So it's really going to screw up everybody.
Well, I clearly see indictments.
Yeah.
And, it's funny. Somebody commented in the comment section here that in Florida, that younger people were being turned away from the polls or they weren't allowed to vote.
I believe it. That could be where the DOJ is going to look, because I feel a lot of votes did not go out as they should.
So I'm not, let me put it this way. I don't want to go to YouTube jail. So there were a lot of things where there was voter suppression taking place.
Exactly.
And I think had that not happened, there would have been a bigger win.
Right. So it's not necessarily fraud as much as it's suppression.
Correct. That's exactly right.
Okay.
Like you're turning people away from the polls. It's like, wait, what?
Exactly.
Okay. So, but Beto's not over, you guys. And at some point I see Florida purple. Just because you think it's red right now, you all, my guides are saying at some point it will be purple.
Well, what do you think is going to happen? Because, Trump hates to Satan. Trump, even on his Truth Social, bragged about how when he won in Florida, his numbers were way bigger than DeSatan.
Well, remember how DeSatan was kissing Trump's rump? Trump's rump. All right. How much you want to bet when Trump comes falling down really hard that DeSatan will turn against him? You want to bet? I see it.
Oh yeah, but Trump is going to throw something
He is. Trump is.
He's
There's
got some information. Him and Roger Stone talked about it.
my guides are telling me the same thing. There's some stuff that's going to come out on Satan that Trump has got and somebody else. And I want to tell you something else. Matt Gaetz is not out of the woods yet.
No, he's not.
My guides are really strong on
I
that.
understand people getting tired of hearing us say this, but yeah, I'm telling you, there's just certain things you know in your soul, and that I've known. But I also feel, remember when I read on Florida onto Satan? I remember, I don't know who I was reading with, but I even said, oh, well, listen, because I thought he was going to lose. But it showed like if he'd lost or he had won, there's some big legal troubles coming towards him.
That's right. I think had in Florida, had they put somebody else in there other than Charlie Crist, somebody like, because Charlie Crist had been a governor and he had been like a Republican. I think if they would have gotten somebody who was really charismatic and all that stuff, that person would have won almost by enough votes so they couldn't do any voter suppression. But I think it was the choice of candidate too. But
now,
you know, let's
have
take
you seen the difference between how much the Satan won? I know it was a shock. Florida opens the polls, and within an hour, Ron DeSantis and Marco Rubio are winners, and they had over 600,000 votes. How did they figure that in an hour?
that had I had those question marks too.
Okay.
Anyway, well, but let's say that the repubes do get the House.
Okay.
Right. I'm not, let's just work with me on this one.
We'll go on both sides so we can give comfort no matter which way.
Correct. They're going to pull so many investigations, Marjorie Taylor Greene. We've already drawn up impeachment papers against Biden. It's not going to go anywhere. So in a way, and everybody, please don't give me negative comments. I don't want to hear them, but it could be a gift because it could really show like, okay, here's what can happen. And I think, that could very easily hand the election to the Democrats in 2024.
Right. That's not that long, 2 years from now.
Not that far off.
But let me ask you something. Do you think Kevin McCarthy will be the speaker? Because they're talking about not having him be the speaker now.
I think they'll try to get rid of him.
That's what I'm feeling. And also, do you think, what was I going to say? Because then he'll be all pissed off if he doesn't get it.
Now, Human Generic just sent a comment. Now the red wave failed to materialize, which it really did. Typically, the midterms are a bellwether of what it's a report card for the president. And typically during the midterms, there's, if they're unhappy, people are unhappy. It's a big takeover of the House and a big takeover of the Senate. But that didn't happen this time.
No, even our beloved Obama lost 60 seats.
Correct. Because of Obamacare and all of that, 60 seats. And if that hadn't happened, we'd be sitting pretty today. It was a huge sweep. But this, guess what? It wasn't the red wave at all. And I
still like the red wedding. And
I still look at it in a lot of states. This was like a real win for the Democrats.
Yeah.
That's how
well, today I hadn't watched MSNBC in I don't know how long. And today on MSNBC, well, that Joe in the morning, he was hysterical. But today they were really patting the backs of Democrats saying, hey, you guys did something that's unprecedented.
That's right. They did.
And this is a plus for Biden. I don't care if they get in there for the next 2 years. First of all, it'll be a nothing burger because they can't get nothing done. Because whatever they bring, it's going to be revolted against.
Right. So I'm not even worried about, I'm
not worried, but I'd love to see us get enough in the House or even tie it so they don't have any say.
Betty Ganji says, thanks for coming on today. You guys are amazing separately and together.
Thank you.
Is it possible that some members of Congress, such as MTG, will lose their seats as a result of criminal indictments? I do see indictments, but I don't know how that works. If they lose their seats, then do they have an election or does a governor appoint?
I think the governor appoints.
So if there's a governor, if so, but does the governor have to appoint it according to the party that was in?
And
And
they have to wait till they're actually convicted.
no, but let's say that somebody's convicted and let's say they're a Republican. So let's say the governor, let's say of the state of Podunk, okay, is a Democrat. Does that governor then have to put a Republican in that seat?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
So see, it doesn't matter if they're indicted and they're taken out, their seat might be replaced with a member of the same party.
Yeah, but they might not be as ugly as Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Or they could be worse.
Yeah, but Marjorie Taylor Greene would never be able to run again if she's found guilty of sedition.
I'm telling you, here's the thing. Here's what people are forgetting. Let's work again and say that the repubes take over the House. We all know that the January 6th committee is going to go right out. It's going to be disbanded. But
Yeah.
this committee still has till January.
Oh, they're going to throw a lot of stuff in there.
And a lot of stuff has already been turned over to the Department of Justice.
Mhm.
Merrick Garland's not going anywhere.
No.
And behind closed doors, he's already investigating some of these Congress people.
Oh, they want to impeach Merrick Garland too.
Well, you know what? Let them try. It's not going to
But
happen.
listen, let me ask you, calmer minds might actually be some of the new ones coming in there. I don't think that viciousness is going to hold as strong like it was before. There might be some people that are repulsed by Marjorie Taylor Greene and say something,
I think a lot of them are behind closed doors.
but they would not say anything before.
No, because they're afraid that, T. Rump would be against them, but they're not
Yeah.
so much afraid of that anymore.
No.
Or they won't be. But, as I said, let them try to impeach just means to bring to trial. They can try to bring him to trial. But guess what? Merrick Garland's not going anywhere. He's not going to stop doing his job. So this commission, if the repubes take over the House, they have, like I said, until January.
Right.
And they're not going to stop.
Right.
This commission will not stop. And they're handing stuff over to the DOJ left and right.
Right.
So, just because that party takes over maybe one of the houses of Congress does not mean that there's not going to be indictments, because there will be.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I mean, they can try all the committees they want and all of this and all of that and da 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 da. And they can maybe not even, they can probably try to tie up the government by not putting a budget through or by not giving money to Ukraine. But and here's what people forget too. Biden still has the power of veto.
Oh, yeah.
So I find it amazing that the Democrats did as well as they did.
I mean, when Trump was in office, trust me, he vetoed everything.
Exactly. All right, let's see here. Okay. Patty B says, I adore you guys and thank you for everything. I don't believe I can survive 4 more years of Abbott, as I don't believe in suicide. I've decided to take up smoking again. I pray for death now. It wasn't just an election. Okay, hold on just a minute. Patty, don't give up. And don't let somebody like Abbott rob you of your power. Keep your power.
Yes.
Speak up against him. Fight back. Don't start smoking cigarettes because of him. No.
He's not worth it.
No, he's not worth it.
And my insider in politics said they should have put, instead of putting all that money in Val Demings, who was really in a bad place, in a red state, they should have put more money into Tim Ryan.
I agree. I agree.
So the Democrats are really taking a look at how they're distributing money now.
That's
true.
And
they're going to be more careful.
That's right. That's right. And the Democrats should have fired back when people like Marjorie Taylor Greene were saying, oh, the economy and inflation and the crime rate and Biden's weak on crime. Excuse me? They're the ones that didn't want to pass gun control.
I know.
And you know what? Here's the deal.
And then they didn't want student loan forgiveness. And the White House turned around and said, why, of course, Marjorie Taylor Greene. But how did you like your forgiveness on your PPE loan of something $1 million? Shut them up.
Okay, Jen. I'm sorry, Patty B. You don't want to die because of this, and you don't want to smoke. just I see Abbott gone. I always did. That has not changed. My guides show me he's going to be gone. And I'm going to tell you something. He's going to be in a doo-doo load of trouble, him and to Satan, because of what they did with those immigrants. And
Okay.
you're right about stuff coming about to Satan that Trump is going to let out, or somebody in
The one saving grace with Abbott is that he would not jump on the Trump train and turn the amount around. He wouldn't do that. Or is that Brian Kemp? Sorry, it's not Abbott. It's Brian Kemp in Georgia.
Right. Okay. Michelle Sutherland says, has nefarious involvement impacted the vote in Ohio, or has the state really drank the red Kool-Aid?
They drank the red Kool-Aid.
I think they drank the red Kool-Aid, but you know what? They're going to be sorry for that.
They were going to be very sorry. And let me ask you something.
I thought, I'm sorry.
I don't feel upset.
I don't either.
Why do I feel so good?
Because I don't think it's going to be, to use your words, the Armageddon that everybody's saying. I understand people are upset. I get that.
I get that too. Especially even all of us, all the psychics, a lot of them said, somebody just wrote me about Tim Ryan and that, Sterling had said he would win. All of us had said he would win. But you know what? Maybe they did win.
That's true. I said Hillary would win. She did. She won the popular vote.
Yeah. And also there's something the DOJ is going to come up with votes that were improperly taken away or not counted.
That's what I feel too. And voter suppression.
Yeah.
That's huge. Voter suppression. Deb O says, seriously, what's going on with Ron Johnson? He's defeated Mandela Barnes. Do you think they'll uncover anything? I predicted Mandela Barnes would win. My feeling was she'd win. And Wisconsin used to be pretty progressive and pretty blue, but I do at some point see Wisconsin going blue again.
And isn't Wisconsin the one that voted for abortions to be legal? Didn't they pass that? Yeah.
I know in Kentucky they voted for it.
They passed it in California and everywhere. They passed that abortions to be legal.
Next, they'll come after the gay rights. Watch.
Who? The Congress that barely is going to be able to do anything? Well, Biden's got the pen right there. Nope, nope, nope.
Okay, Lee Anderson said, this was 7 hours ago, all of us Democrats have to take a step back and wait. It may take months, but indictments are coming, and it may be to all the Texas criminality that's been going on. Florida criminals will be weeded out. I say to that, Lee, hooray. I feel by January, this midterm election is going to look a whole lot different. We are not done. Republicans will pay the price, or the people that are crooked will pay the price. Now it's Garland's turn. What did I just say?
Yep.
What do you both think? Lee?
But it could have been worse. They could have taken the Senate. They could have taken the House. It could have been a landslide. And we got by on the hair on our chinny chin chin. I'm telling you right now.
We certainly did. Lynn LeGlaire says, hello, Linda and Mel. Thank you for all you do. We will be okay. I'm so happy there was no red wave. So are we. All right. In my opinion, democracy won. Yes, it did.
Yes.
It really did. And Kentucky voted for pro-choice.
There you go.
All right. It was a huge disappointment that Abrams didn't win, but she was so gracious about it. See, that's
I know.
Right? That I can't help but know she's got a future. You're right. She is not done.
You know what scares me though, but she won. She lost worse than the last time. She lost by 6% instead of 3%.
Well, because I think part of what Georgia did is when they passed those draconian voters laws, that people couldn't do this and they couldn't do that, and some states you can't hand out water to people standing in line.
I know.
The Republicans wanted to do that so they could win, and it really blew up in their faces.
I know.
But I see a lot of those draconian voting laws that they tried to pass. I see those overturned to make it easier for people to vote. Because the people are going to figure out that didn't work.
They really thought they had this in the bag.
Somebody says, well, sure, got quite a few wrong. Okay, we did, but we didn't get them all wrong. And
No,
who said that that we predicted the ones that were the most likely winners? That's not true. That's just not true at all. Because a lot of the people, when they were asking me these names, I didn't know a lot of the names.
right.
And a lot of them won. So, okay, let's see. Oh, I was talking about um I was talking about doing the show Faces of the Unknown, and then the other one I can't Overron's gonna kill me. I can't think of the name of it right now. Something guest, an intangible guest. And I put on my community board that you're going to meet Ron and that you've agreed to work on future cases with us.
Yes, yeah.
Hey, so
That'll be fun. I have been a fan of his.
and she says she'd love to see us in action, and she said hopefully
I
we'll do this as well.
When I'm working in the backyard, I have him on in my ear pods and I listen to his show. He tells a story. He's a good storyteller.
Yeah, he is. He's a nice guy
Really
too.
good storyteller.
He's got an amazing history. Okay. Did Stacey Abrams get robbed from the win in Georgia, considering it was hold on, I lost my place. Considering it was a close race, should she have asked for a recount? You know, I saw a runoff, but I thought Stacey would have a runoff, but I knew that there'd be a runoff between Warnock and the other guy.
Yeah. But they did. I'm telling you, Warnock would have won by a landslide if they hadn't stopped the voting like they did, which affected Stacey too.
Right. People are asking, will Biden run again? Patty G wants to know.
Yes, he's announced today he is.
Oh, he is?
Mhm.
I don't know. I kept seeing him as a one-term president. I could be wrong.
He said today that him and his wife had discussed it and he will be running again in 2024.
Well, then he can't let the Republicans destroy the economy, because it's, voting is a, well, this is kind of a bellwether of what's going to happen. And this election was not a referendum against Biden. Remember the midterms when Trump was in office and the Democrats took back over the House?
Oh, by a landslide.
That was a referendum against Trump.
Right.
This wasn't a referendum against Biden.
Right. But even if they take the House, they can't destroy the economy. They have no power, really. They can push and cry and call in people for investigations, but they really don't have anything they can bring forward.
Well, the thing is that, we had like a 15 lead majority in the House, and then after the last, like it was like 5 lead, and now we're down by 9 seats. But if you think about it, that is a razor thin majority that the Republicans will have, and that can change again, and it will.
Yeah.
Because look at when Obama was president, and it was during his second term, I think, when you're right, all those 60
He
seats
got a shellaxing.
certainly did, and even the House. And so, we've come back, and we're gonna keep fighting.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Katie Porter, I don't know. Did she get reelected, Linda?
She did.
Okay, so somebody asked about that.
She's the one with the board.
With the who?
She has the whiteboard.
Oh, I got it.
She tells all those bigwigs off.
Okay. Hi, Auntie Mel. I love this. This is from Melanie. Hi, Linda. She goes, that's my name to famous and people I meet, and no one's a stranger. Thank you. She says, thanks for your predictions, Linda. She says, I'm still keeping the faith.
Thank you, baby.
Will we have any sudden surprises of criminal misdoings in the race that led to a repute victory?
I felt one. I felt something coming up that the DOJ will be investigating.
I agree. Okay.
But I don't know which state, but it's definitely a red state.
Oh, this is a good one. Let's see. Let me take a look here. This is a good one. Hascape says, I'm hopeful that even though the results aren't great, it's not all lost, and the GOP will have internal fights for the House. That's true. That's very, very, very intuitive, that question.
And
That's
what do you mean not great? It's great. I'm telling you, we
correct.
got by with the hair on our chinny chin chin. This is absolutely history making. The fact that Biden, there was no red wave.
Right. But then
They
she
were so sure of it. What's his face? Kevin was throwing a party. He
then
had the venue and everything.
nothing happened. Then she goes on to say, can McCarthy control his party? And that's a very good question. Or will it go into civil war just like the Tories in Great Britain? That can actually damage them to voters and their donors, which is happening right now with the UK. You know, I see that party's going to split the repubes, and I think you hit on something, Linda. And when you said that, I got cold chills running all up.
What?
They're going to try, if they take over the House, they're going to try to get rid of McCarthy. How much you want to bet?
Oh, I know they are. They're already talking about it. But also, they're not going to let Marjorie Taylor Greene tell them what to do.
No, that's right. That's right.
I see almost like a Steve Scalise going in.
And Kevin's loving vibration tarot said something, and you said it too, that after these midterms, if not careful, there could be a real splitting of the Republican Party.
Yes.
I see that too.
And there's already talking out loud about what do we need Trump for?
And this could be then a real gift to the Democrats, because if that party implodes and splits, which I see also, then that's going to help the Dems. So
right.
Sometimes what really seems to be a curse is a blessing.
It's a blessing. It always works out. Some things in my life that happened to me, including cancer, and I thought, oh Lord, why hast thou forsaken me? And it ended up being wonderful.
Jenny W., I like this. You both succeeded in doing your job. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Jenny.
Keeping people calm.
That's what my purpose is.
Mine too. Mine too. On top of all that, you both kept your spirits up and kept us hopeful. And I thank you both for your hard work and dedication. Predictions were pretty good, in my opinion, she says.
Yeah, and it's so hard because I was so right in the last time.
Well, she says
this time I don't know the numbers. My friend is going to do the numbers for me and tell me my percentage. Definitely won't be as high as before, but I picked a lot of ones right.
She says, let's see. Thank you. Your predictions were pretty good, in my opinion. Not the same as last time, but hey, there is no red wave. That's true. Yay.
That's the main thing.
You both. So, I'm excited. Good. That was so nice. Okay. Okay. Jim Gordon says, hi, Linda. Not long ago, you said that you sensed Poopkin would do something really bad soon.
Yeah.
Even by his standards. Could it be that now the Russians are retreating from Kherson? I forget that. That there is a trap being set. I'm thinking they might retreat and then blow the dam. Could that be what's happening?
I don't know, but I know that he's going to do something that people say, we're done. Enough. That's what I saw, but I can't give you exactly what it is. Well, I can't guess.
I heard the president of Ukraine, Zelensky, is wanting to talk about peace talks with Putin, but if it's peace talks, it's just going to be a moot point.
Not unless he hands over land.
Well, I think Zelensky is doing that to say, look, we want to come to the peace table, and Putin will say, yeah, but then he'll pull something huge. That's what I see.
Yeah.
So I think Zelensky knows that. And I think that's why Zelensky said what he said.
Okay, that makes sense.
Zelensky's really smart. Okay, Tina Mexico says, hi, my favorite psychos.
Hey, Tina.
Why do people continue to vote against their best interests? Hallelujah. Texas and Florida.
Like I said about Florida, why would they want Marco Rubio and the other people that are cutting down Social Security? Ron Johnson, let's cut Social Security and Medicare.
Exactly.
I don't get it.
Well, yeah, it's like, okay, you want Republicans, but yet they're going to cut Social Security. They're going to cut Medicare. They're the ones that don't want to put a cap on drug cost.
Right.
Biden just put something through where, you don't have to pay any more than $5,000 a year in medication cost if you're on Medicare.
2,000.
Was it 2,000?
Mhm.
That's even better because I'm on a specialty drug, and if I went on Medicare, I would have to pay $700 or $800 a month for this drug because the drug costs almost $2,000 a month.
Wow.
And it's
Well, the Republicans didn't want him to make people give a decent price.
but look what they allow people to do with the EpiPen. I'm allergic to bee stings. You used to be able to get that EpiPen for $40, and when what's her
Yeah.
face took it over, she raised the prices to $800.
I know.
I mean, I see ceilings put on all that stuff, and they're doing it. The Democrats are doing it.
But they pay these Republicans in their pockets. They give them money to vote the way they want. Russia's paying the Republicans to vote the way they want.
Well, how much do you want to bet if something like if it was one of those people on the other side, Republican side, the Trumplicans, that had to pay big medical costs or big prescription bills, they would be the first screaming.
Oh, no, they got their nice, comfortable health insurance and a gym and cafeteria and everything down there. They're fed, they're taken care of.
I think they should say once they're out of office, all that stops.
Yeah.
We lose our jobs, we retire, we lose our insurance.
Exactly.
Right? Okay. Okay, we just got a few more. Peter, okay. Simply Songbird says, what happened in Texas? I'm disappointed. We fought so hard. Remember this, just because it looks as if they win the battle doesn't mean they'll win the war.
Right.
The voice be heard. It's funny. In 2016, I went to bed with this foreboding feeling. It was just, I felt
Yeah, when Trump won. Yeah.
But, and I remember the last election when Biden won, you and I were talking, I'm like, how could we be so wrong? But I felt really optimistic.
That's how I'm feeling now.
Me too. I went to bed last night and I slept really well.
Yeah.
So I didn't get the foreboding, Oh, this is really cool. Mila M, grab this one. Hi, Mel and Linda. Greeting from Lithuania. Wow.
Awesome.
Wow. Thank you for all you do. I'm praying for the USA and the rest of the world. Wow. From Lithuania.
Yeah.
Well, Mila, you know what? I had said, and Linda had said that our guides had shown us that Putin, if he could take over Ukraine, wanted to go through Latvia, Lithuania, and Estonia. That ain't going to happen.
Nope.
So, hi, Lithuania. All right. I heard was that your phone ringing, Linda? I heard a phone ringing.
No.
Okay.
Not my phone. You just reminded me, I have a lady in Sweden. I have to send her a link for tomorrow.
This is a good one. Sharon Donnelly asked, hi, Mel and Linda, due to the projected election results, will the GOP block all judges Biden will attempt to appoint to SCOTUS? Well, if the Dems win if the Dems win the Senate, that's not going to matter.
Yeah. Right.
All right. Okay. Will Beto contest the election results? I don't think so. I think he's got too much class for that. I think Beto's going to go on for more things politically. We haven't heard the end of him yet.
No, we haven't.
Okay. Laura Wright. I'm devastated about Beto. You saw him in a high office. Do you see him running against Ted Cruz again? Would he try for a third-time loser? That would be hard for him, but it's so hard to beat a Republican in Texas. Beto's not done. We just said that. All right. Okay. Let me just, okay. This is good.
What?
Barn 0164 says, thank you, Mel and Linda, for keeping us calm in these stressful times. Happy to report there was a blue wave in Minnesota. MN, is that Minnesota or Maine?
Yeah, Minnesota. I haven't even paid attention to Minnesota.
The incumbent Democratic governor was reelected, and the Dems now have control of both Senate and the House. Yay! So see, that's another thing. In a lot of these states, the Dems, you got Democratic governors that were once Republican. And you're right. And all these states voted, that they wanted to keep Roe v. Wade. They want to hold on to
And that's not going to help Trump if he runs in 2024 with those Democratic governors.
well, I think they're not, if they let Trump run in 2024, they're idiots.
Oh yeah, I don't see him running, but
Okay. So anyway, now I'm going to announce my winners real quick because I reached
Okay.
17,000 subscribers. Leah Rosado, you win a free half-hour session. Mimi Rose I've already announced that she won. She's lucky. That's the second time she's won one.
what?
Yep.
Wow.
And then Jenny, Jeni, she won. So Leah Rosado, Jenny, Mimi Rose.
And then where did they go?
Well, don't email me, call my office, 847-590-5411. Again, 847-590-5411, and just say you won the half-hour session for 17,000 subscribers.
Cool.
And when I get to 18,000, I'll give away another 3 free half-hour sessions.
That's what I'm talking, my friend. That's what I'm talking.
Linda, thanks for doing this. I have to tell you guys, Linda is such a trooper. I called Linda early this morning and I said, Linda, you want to do a show tonight? And I said, let's go on and just, calm people down or whatever. And Linda said, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. Whatever we can do.
I think the one good thing about YouTube and all of this is, I was able to meet Linda and we have become the best of friends. Linda, you're like a sister.
Thank you.
And,
thank you.
And
you guys know this, and Mel, you're just a delight and so generous and kind. But I just want everybody to know that they know our wishes and they know what we need. So don't question the power outside of ourselves. And know, because sometimes in my life I thought, oh, fine, God's not going to give me this and God's not going to give me that. Why do I have the worst luck? If I just got out of my own way, I would have seen what was going to evolve. And it's even better than I thought.
Correct.
So sometimes they do things to help us in a way that we'll look at it later and say, aha, but mark my word, we all witnessed history yesterday.
That's true.
And
we
today.
did.
And this has not happened since what, 18 something?
Hasn't happened in that long.
Yeah.
It's funny. Sometimes we can predict a win, but it doesn't have to be this win. It could be in the future because sometimes it's hard for us to tell where we're at in time.
Well, I remember saying Beta was going to win the last time. And then right in the middle of me being excited about him winning, the guys stopped me. Said, no, he's not going to win. But this time they didn't stop me, which was interesting.
Well, he's going
to win on something. I'm not quite sure what it is.
I still see him in a high government position. I asked my guides, and
I wouldn't doubt if Biden's thinking about it.
Well, but I'm thinking with him, it might be an elected position.
Oh, okay.
So and Stacey Abrams as well.
Yeah,
I see her with more of an appointment in the future.
Yeah, I'm feeling in the next administration she'll be appointed something.
Correct. That's what I feel.
All
right,
my friend.
Hey, everybody, like James Cargill says, put the razor blade back.
Put the razor blades away. Okay, bye, you guys. Big love.
Give me 1 second here.